Thank you everyone for coming. I'd like to call the Public Safety Commission meeting to order. Could I have a roll call, please? Oops, first we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Mayor Pro Tem Horvath, would you lead us, please?
Please stand, place your hands over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, if we could have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Berger. Commissioner Laughlin.
Here.
Commissioner Norton. Commissioner Soul.
Here.
Chair Walk.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Okay, we'll move on to adjournment requests. Do we have any this evening? Commissioner Soul.
As has been the tradition, I'm going to list the names of firefighters and law enforcement that we've lost since the last time our Public Safety Commission has met. But before I do that, I wanted to adjourn the meeting in memory of Brenda Lee Smith, who is the mother of Bonnie Smith that works in the Public Safety Department. And it was a very sudden loss, and it happened right before Mother's Day. So please send your condolences to our wonderful friend Bonnie. From our law enforcement side, we've lost Deputy Sheriff Justin Richard DeRosier, Police Officer Kylie Ollinger, Conservation Officer Eugene Wynn Jr., Special Agent in Charge Liquat A. Leo Khan, Canine Officer Jordan Harris Sheldon, Police Officer Robert McKeith, Police Officer Anthony Aaron, Trooper Matthew Elias Gotti, Sergeant Kelvin Ansari. And from our firefighter side, we've lost firefighter John Jack Lemming, firefighter Cody Van Bossen, firefighter Brad Greg Rich, firefighter Michael Watkins, and firefighter Dwayne Hudson.
Thank you. Now we'll move to approval of the agenda. Do we have
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Soul, second by Commissioner Laughlin. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Berger. Commissioner Laughlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Norton. Commissioner Soul.
Aye.
Chair Walk.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Now, if we could have approval of the April 8th, 2019 minutes?
So moved.
Okay. A motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Soul. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Berger.
Aye.
Commissioner Laughlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Norton. Commissioner Soul.
Aye.
Chair Walk.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
We'll now move on to public comments. The members of the public will have up to 3 minutes to speak. We have 3 speakers. First is Kevin Burton.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Kevin Burton. I'm a resident of West Hollywood. I'm speaking tonight on behalf of the West Hollywood Bicycle Coalition on upcoming items relating to bicycle and pedestrian and motorist safety in West Hollywood. There are 2 events occurring this week, one of which the Transportation Commission will, at its meeting on Wednesday evening at City Hall at 7 o'clock, be taking up 2 agenda items related to bicycle safety that also impacts pedestrians and drivers. The first has to do with the current ordinance that allows bicycles to ride on sidewalks in certain parts of the city, but not others, and that is under review. The second has to do with the proposal that's come out of council to transform alleyways, primarily along Santa Monica Boulevard, east of Kings Flores, into bikeways in lieu of bike lanes that are not on that part of Santa Monica. So if anyone in the city or listening to the broadcast is interested in those two topics, please attend the Transportation Commission meeting this Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock in City Hall, and share your views. The second is an equally enjoyable topic, and that is May is Bike Month. And the City of West Hollywood is helping to celebrate that by hosting a Bike to Work pit stop on Santa Monica Boulevard at on the north sidewalk just west of West Mount, across from 24-Hour Fitness. And at that event, a lot of materials concerning safety for bicyclists will be handed out by the city and the Bicycle Coalition. There will be refreshments, prizes to be won, and other enjoyable activities. So if you're going by there, please, in the morning, this will be commute hours between 7 and 10 a.m. on Thursday morning the 16th, then please consider stopping. The Bicycle Coalition is also participating with LA's Mid-City West Community Council at a pit stop they're hosting just near our city limit at the intersection of Willoughby and Vista. And part of the information provided there will be the upcoming Willoughby and Vista Gardner Neighborhood Greenway, which is a traffic calming and safety plan being led by the City of West Hollywood, but they'll be working with City of LA in that effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Our next speaker is Garrett Charity.
Hi, good evening, Commissioners. I'm Garrett Charity from the City of West Hollywood. I'm also the chair of the Rent Stabilization Commission. I'm here tonight just to introduce myself as the chair, also introduce our liaison, Richard Maggio. He's a long-term friend of yours. I know you probably all know him. During another meeting, Tori had asked me to come and introduce the Systematic Code Enforcement Program to your commission. It's a program in the City of Los Angeles where they have inspectors routinely inspect the dwelling units of apartments in the city, looking for, in short, code enforcement violations. Some of them include lack of proper maintenance, deteriorated walls, deteriorated or broken or missing windows, lack of release mechanisms, ventilation issues, defective or broken light fixtures. But in short, it's a nice program that the City of Los Angeles has that's a little bit different from West Hollywood in that we have a complaint-based system only, where the City of Los Angeles has a system where they do systematic routine checks every 4 years for the dwelling units. So it's just some food for thought. It did come before the City Council before and wasn't as popular. There were some privacy issues, but we did have a nice presentation from one of the code enforcement officers to our commission, and I'll try to get my hands on the full presentation for your commission and also the contacts for the City of Los Angeles should you be interested in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Stephanie Harker.
Good evening, Commissioners. Stephanie Harker, City of West Hollywood. I first wanted to thank Captain Ramirez for coming out on a Saturday morning, basically, to the East Side meet and greet for him at Plummer, which we held outdoors at Plummer Park. I wanted to thank particularly the Neighborhood Watch Captain for the East Side, who at the moment is the stalwart Todd Hallman, and Steve Martin, who put the whole thing together. It was really a wonderful setting and a wonderful way for people to be able to communicate back and forth with the our wonderful sheriff. And it's a lot easier than trying to cram everything you have to say into 3 minutes, because there's it's not a Brown Act meeting, it was an informal meeting about safety amongst neighbors, and we really appreciate. I know that Captain Ramirez had a graduation to attend that day, later in the day, and his wife said, "Why are you doing it on," I'm telling tales out of school, "Why are you doing it on a Saturday?" And he said, "Because more people can attend," which just is such a wonderful thing. That's a true service-oriented captain, and we appreciate that. I wanted to thank Tori Berger for attending, and Jasmine Duckworth from the city staff, and I hope that we can do more things like that, maybe even throughout the city. I wanted to congratulate my friend Mike Carter, another neighborhood watch captain who has whipped that group into the Ogden Owls, I believe they have a name, and I don't know if they have a song, they might, but he really has been putting a lot of time and effort into the west side of the east side, and I'm hoping that maybe in the future we can celebrate and thank a few more people. I know that people like those who volunteer at the Sheriff's Department. I know my friend Mike King has volunteered over 1,457 and a half hours. So I thank those people who do take the extra time, my friends and neighbors and our citizens of the city, all in the interest of safety for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now moving on to the presentation of the Public Safety Awards, and it's very nice to see so many people here tonight. So we're going to start off, and we're all going to move down there with you. So we're going to do that now, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're going to begin the program, and this is so weird for me. I'm like, I have my back to everyone I'm speaking to. So anyways, to begin the program, I'd like to thank the City of West Hollywood Council members and Josh Kirpies from Assemblyman Richard Bloom's office for joining us this evening. I believe Josh is here. If he is not, he's going to be here any time now. So to begin, I'd like to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Lindsay Horvath.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, everyone at home. I'll face this way for the television, although it's a little bit strange to have everyone behind me. I just want to thank everyone for participating tonight. We have this wonderful Public Safety Awards event once every year with the opportunity to recognize some people who have demonstrated extraordinary leadership in committing themselves to keeping our community safe. We know that there are many people who are dedicated to this effort day in and day out, and I want to thank first our public safety commissioners for the service that they provide to our community and holding these meetings regularly so people, members of the public, can come and share their concerns and help highlight the issues that we need to be focused on as a community. I want to thank our public safety staff who works very, very hard every day at City Hall to make sure that we're coordinating and keeping things organized, and I want to thank in a very special way Public Safety Director Kristen Cook for her continued leadership. No matter what we throw at her, she is just absolutely extraordinary in how she tackles the issues, and so I want to thank her in a very special way. I also want to thank our sheriff's department, our fire department, our ambassadors, our code enforcement team. We have so many people who work hard every day to make sure that our community is doing what we're supposed to do, and that when things take a turn, that we are supported and cared for in the way that the city expects. And it's really remarkable to be in a place like West Hollywood. I'm joined here tonight by Councilmember John Duran and Councilmember Lauren Meister, who you'll hear from later on in the program. But on behalf of the entire council, the mayor was not able to be with us tonight, and I know Councilmember Heilman is working, but I guess he is here, so I stand corrected. This is the problem with having everyone behind me. On behalf of the entire council, we want to thank everyone in the community who steps up, who offers their service, and who courageously makes sure that our community stays the safe place that we all enjoy every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Horvath. I'd now like to introduce the new captain of the West Hollywood Sheriff Station, Captain Ed Ramirez.
Yeah, this is very awkward. You're right, Lindsay. How's that? Okay. Good evening. First and foremost, I want to tell you how incredibly honored I am to be speaking before you this evening. Having recently served as your service area lieutenant, I have had the pleasure of interacting with this commission, our residents, neighborhood watch groups, the business community, the Chamber of Commerce, the City Council, and the city management team. And I can tell you that I'm absolutely ecstatic that I was chosen to remain and continue the important work my personnel and I have been doing. As I told the panel during my interview, West Hollywood is where I want to be, and West Hollywood is where I want to stay. The city has absolutely grown on me. I love its diversity, its energy, its vibe, its progressiveness, the passion of its residents, and yes, even its quirkiness. As one goes through the Sheriff Department promotional process, historically one does not always know where they're going to wind up. As a result of Sheriff Villanueva's new contract city captain selection process, I was afforded the ability to interview with the city and its panel. That said, I am thrilled and humbled to have been chosen to represent the city as your new captain, and I am excited to begin work on new and innovative ideas in keeping our city safe. That said, I can tell you that I'm a huge proponent of the community-based policing model, and I'm adamant that we aggressively move in that direction. My outlook on community policing started when I was a young deputy, and I was always looking at ways or answers to solve crime. I quickly realized that we would never be able to arrest ourselves out of the problem. Community policing is not only about bike and foot patrols or visiting our children in our schools. It is a philosophy that is permeated from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top, of engaging the citizens in our community and helping them solve problems. It is something we should do day in and day out. It's a philosophy that says law-abiding citizens have input into the police process. When I began my career 29 years ago, we as deputy sheriffs came into your communities and told you what our problems were. The fact of the matter is, our citizens know their neighborhoods. We should be coming into your neighborhoods and asking our residents what your problems are. Then we work with the community hand in hand, solving that problem. It is incumbent upon us as law enforcement officers and protectors of society to bring the resources to solve those problems. Piggybacking on the community-based policing model, I would like to implement a program I refer to as area integrity, which means deputies are assigned to a certain neighborhood or reporting district. And whenever possible, I want to send the community the same officers as possible so that the community does not have to start at square one and explain the problem to a different deputy over and over again. The community knows the deputy, and the deputy knows the community. We have to shift from a reactionary mode to a problem-solving mode. The mindset needs to be, if we can help you, we need to be able to facilitate connecting the persons to the proper city department and provide the necessary follow-up rather than passing the citizen and the problem off. We need to assist our residents with actually solving the problem so that it does not reoccur. I'd like to briefly share with you some of the operations we've conducted in the past month. We have conducted 4 traffic enforcement operations, which included distracted driving, driving while intoxicated. These operations resulted in 110 citations issued, 5 vehicles stored, and numerous arrests for driving while intoxicated. We have served 3 narcotic search warrants that yielded 6 arrests and the recovery of heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, mushrooms, LSD, GHB, oxycodone, and ecstasy. In one of the cases, we recovered 1.5 pounds of fentanyl. To put that fentanyl seizure into perspective, 1.5 pounds of fentanyl is equal to approximately 680,388 milligrams. With what the DEA says a lethal dose is 2 milligrams, the amount of fentanyl recovered was enough to overdose over 340,000 people. Our narcotics crew is doing an incredible job, and we should all be very proud of them. When comparing and contrasting April 2018 to April 2019, there are several areas where our crime rates are actually down. Crimes against persons are down 12.9%, robberies are down 25.5%, residential burglaries are down 29%, auto theft is down 6.6%, and arson is down 50%. And although we are trending downwards in those areas, crime rates were up in a number of areas, specifically larcenies. Grand thefts were up 19%, vehicle burglaries were up 41%, and petty theft was up 9%. We are continuing our efforts in reducing these numbers through saturation patrols, plainclothes operation, the redistribution of deputy personnel to problem areas, joint operation, and information sharing with law enforcement agencies that we share our boundaries with. In closing, our deputy personnel have done an incredible job towards keeping our community safe. In fact, last month we had the highest number of arrests made in the city of West Hollywood since March of 2013, when we made 305 arrests. Last month, West Hollywood station deputies made 329 arrests. I can comfortably say that the station morale is higher than I've ever seen it and higher than it's been in more recent memories, as our deputies have been more active, assertive, and taking pride in their work, and I cannot be more proud of them. Tonight, I'm especially proud of our Lieutenant James Farrell Deputy of the Year Award. Lieutenant Farrell, known to many who had the pleasure of working with him as Jimmy, was a longtime sheriff assigned to West Hollywood Station. Jimmy worked here as a deputy in the early 1990s and then as a sergeant, and he remained in the city of West Hollywood until his promotion in 2012. Unfortunately, Jimmy passed away from a long-term illness in March of 2013. Jimmy was passionate about his service to our community and his role as a deputy sheriff. He was a man of incredible character and standards above reproach, and was the epitome of the humble public servant. Those who worked with him became better human beings by simply being around him. I firmly believe Jimmy would be very proud of tonight's recipient. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Mayor Pro Tem Lindsay Horvath to join me in thanking our first responders who assisted during the Woolsey fire.
Once again, want to thank you all. Now it's much nicer to look at you than to look at the wall. But I once again want to thank you for the remarkable service that you've shown in our community. Our first responders have the hardest jobs out there. In some ways, the jobs aren't getting any easier, and especially in California, responding to fires is just, I can't imagine what that's like, and that you all are willing to sacrifice and put your lives on the line to protect people, both in our community and in the region in this way is really and truly remarkable. We thank you for your bravery, your courage, and we will share with you the list of names of everyone who served us in this courageous way.
Battalion Chief Michael Brown II, Battalion Chief Brian Kane, Battalion Chief John Mancha, Captain Michael Bolding, Captain Chad Brown, Captain Wade Kelsey, Captain Rogelio Ortiz, Captain John Smolin, Captain Jade Swinside, Firefighter Specialist Tim Maringer, Firefighter Specialist Kristen Reneso, Firefighter Patrick Kilgore, Firefighter Andreas Morales, Firefighter Brian Nunn, Firefighter Benny Ramirez.
Firefighter Anthony Rusi, Firefighter Ismael Villalta Ayala. Close? Close? Thank you. Utility driver Neil Freud, and from our Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Sergeant Baumgardner, Sergeant Cohen, Sergeant Fisher, Sergeant Diana, Sergeant Hewitt, Sergeant Gonzalez, Sergeant Guillen, Sergeant Klaus, Sergeant Rios, Sergeant Yoakum, Detective Bonilla, Detective Cussiter, Detective Heald, Detective Hom, Detective Least.
Detective Lozano Colon, Detective Luaveno, Detective Para, Detective Roberts, Detective Simpson, Detective Deputy Ahari, Deputy Alamilio, Deputy Anitima, Deputy Arumbulio, Deputy Australian, Deputy Banos, Deputy Barahamian, Deputy Baroza, Deputy Barstad, Deputy Bedoyan, Deputy Bermudez, Deputy Barrios, Deputy Calvalio, Deputy Cardenas, Deputy Chung, Deputy Clink-Scales, Deputy Coleman.
Deputy Costales, Deputy DeMel, Deputy Fernandez, Deputy Farrell, Deputy Finders, Deputy Franks, Deputy Gamboa, Deputy Garcia, Deputy Gomez, Deputy Gonzalez, Deputy Gregorian, Deputy Herrera, Deputy Holloway, Deputy Huezo, Deputy Johnson, Deputy Jordan, Deputy Kim, Deputy Lee, Deputy Lizarraga, Deputy Lohman, Deputy Maldonado, Deputy Martinez, Deputy Medina.
Deputy Meha, Deputy Mekadara, Deputy Moore, Deputy Morales, Deputy Nunez, Deputy Oblea, Deputy Alvera, Deputy Pinete, Deputy Perez, Deputy Pinedo, Deputy Radloff, Deputy Reyes, Deputy Reynolds, Deputy Rose, Deputy Ruiz, Deputy Rupp, Deputy Savay, Deputy Servin, Deputy Sedieshi, Deputy Takavoli, Deputy Texiera, Deputy Teufel.
We're close. Deputy Trujillo, Deputy Valdivia, Deputy Vukazic, Deputy Weishweil, Deputy Wax, Deputy Yao, and Deputy Zeff. And really all this means is we need to spend a lot more time at our stations to make sure we know your names better. But thank you all for the service that you provide to our community. Your courage is very much appreciated. Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to introduce Councilmember John Duran to join me to present our first award of the evening.
Thank you, Commissioner Soul, and I want to take just a moment to thank all of the public safety commissioners for your service throughout the year and representing our community, interacting with our firefighters and our sheriff deputies. Your service is greatly appreciated. And thank you to the public safety staff that are here, Kristen Cook and all of her staff for guarding us, keeping us safe all year round. Jimmy Farrell was very dear to me and I think very dear to all of us in this community. It is appropriate that we have named the Deputy of the Year award after him because it's a great way for us to keep him in our hearts and in our minds and once a year speak the name Jimmy Farrell. And this year, the Deputy of the Year is Deputy Todd Moore. Todd, I hope you're here because I'm about to introduce you. Yes, okay, right there in the front, all right. Deputy Moore joined the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department in September of 1995, 24 years, it's a long time. After graduation from the academy, Deputy Moore was assigned to the Men's Central Jail, not an easy place to work, where he worked the line in Operation Safe Jails, also known as the Gang Unit. Deputy Moore then completed his patrol training in March of 2002 at the Walnut Sheriff Station. After working at both the Walnut Sheriff Station and the Temple Sheriff Station, Deputy Moore joined the West Hollywood Sheriff Station in October of 2009. While at the West Hollywood Station, Deputy Moore began his service at the Universal Substation and then moved to West Hollywood Station's patrol and bike team for a few years before being assigned to the Training and Scheduling Office. Deputy Moore completed 2 years of scheduling and then promoted to the Field Training Officer. As Field Training Officer, he has successfully trained over 12 trainees. Deputy Moore is currently working in the Operations Office, and he's also the Field Training Officer for Reserve Deputies here at the West Hollywood Station. Deputy Moore, good luck with this, Deputy Moore. Deputy Moore has also taken on the position of Public Information Officer. You get to be the spokesperson for all of us, and has already done several media interviews for various incidents that have occurred in the city. I'd just like to conclude by saying if you read the LA Times this morning, you noticed that the city of West Hollywood is the contract city that pays the most annually for our sheriff contract. Much more so than any other city in all of Los Angeles County, because we do operate as a 24-hour city. So when you are a Deputy of the Year at the most active, interesting place where nobody dies, but everybody seems to get promoted into higher places, that's a pretty big deal. So I'd like to ask Deputy Moore, all of the public safety commissioners, and my colleagues on the City Council to join us all up here to present the award and take pictures with the Deputy of the Year, Deputy Todd Moore. Okay, thank you. We're going to get everybody. John back here? Okay, we're going to put you in the center. Okay. Do you have any family members in the photo? Okay.
You want to go first? Okay.
First, I'd like to say this is truly a great honor. I'm probably one of the few at the station who had the opportunity to work with James Farrell. When I came to the station in October 2009, I was at Universal for a short time. And when I came down to the city, it was a great honor to see him running around with intensity, always planning for the Christopher Street Parade or for the Halloween Festival. He was always so very interested in protecting the community and serving the city of West Hollywood. So I have to say this is truly a very, this is a great honor in my 24 years. And I miss him greatly. I've heard from a lot of people that have come up recently and said, we miss him and he was great, he served the community, and this is truly a great honor. I also would like to thank all the residents of West Hollywood and City Council for having us service their law enforcement needs. And, this is my third station and by far the best. It is, Marty, how are you? It's always good to know that the community supports us and that we are well loved in the city of West Hollywood. I also would like to thank Kristen Cook. She's always given me the tools since I've been here to accomplish those things to service the community of West Hollywood, and it's a great honor for Chris to work with Kristen Cook. I also would like to thank my command staff, Captain Ramirez, Lieutenant Mulder, who has a lot of faith in me to make me the public information officer and give me the support. Sergeant Klaus, Sergeant Gonzalez, who's not here today, but I just want to say thank you to them all. They've given me support and the tools necessary to complete the jobs that we need to do. And my fellow peers at West Hollywood Sheriff Station, it's a great place to work, and they always push, all of our deputies at West Hollywood push each other to be better. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. And I just want to say congratulations and sincere thanks to Deputy Todd Moore for all that you do for the community. Jimmy Farrell is also a very dear friend of mine, and I concur, he's terribly missed. And now I'm proud to introduce a very special person, a friend, and Council Member John Heilman to join me in presenting our second award.
Thank you, Ruth, and thank you. I know my colleagues have said it, but I haven't. Thank you all for your service. We really appreciate it. We know you're out there every day keeping us safe. I also want to say one word about Jimmy. Jimmy was amazing. I also had the pleasure of having his son as my law student last semester. And of course, we know it wasn't just Jimmy, it was the entire family, and we do miss him every day. Our next award is for our Firefighter of the Year award, and this year we are here to honor firefighter paramedic Benny Ramirez.
Firefighter paramedic Benny Ramirez has been a member of the Los Angeles County Fire Department for over 10 years. During this time, he has held the position of both firefighter and firefighter paramedic. He's worked throughout the county, serving the cities of Altadena, Baldwin Hills, Huntington Park, and we know he loves West Hollywood the best. And we're very proud to have him here since 2010, where he's a valuable asset to our citizens, and Fire Station 8, which is my station right around the corner. While his unique blend of humor definitely keeps everyone at 8 on their toes, his dedication to excellence inspires others to rise to any challenge. Public servants are just that, servants to their communities. However, firefighter Ramirez genuinely shows up to work each morning with a servant's heart. Whether he's on the ground or a medical call, Benny can be counted on to sacrifice for the ones that he serves. This is evident from his past service to our country. He served in the United States Marine Corps from 2000 to 2004. He was assigned to the 1st Marine Division Headquarters Battalion. Firefighter Ramirez deployed to Iraq in 2003. He then re-enlisted in the Army National Guard in 2005 and was assigned to recruiting. Benny was also assigned to Charlie Company, 168th Aviation Regiment Logistics Chief in 2007. Firefighter Ramirez conducts himself with staunch professionalism and is an example to everybody around him. On April 24th, 2018, Benny was one of 3 firefighters who pulled a victim to safety from a working structure fire in the city of West Hollywood. Due to his quick search and rescue, the victim recovered. Firefighter Ramirez has a passion for his career, but his true love rests solely in time spent with his family. Benny is married to his wonderful wife, Hilda, of 18 years. They have 3 beautiful daughters, Isabella, 15, Elizabeth, 13, and Amelia, I don't want to mess up her name, who is 3. These ladies are a light to Benny and are his strong support network. Councilmember Heilman, please help me welcome our Firefighter of the Year, firefighter paramedic Benny Ramirez.
the commissioners could come forward as well.
Thank you. You can see my crew back there is waiting for me to just freeze. Happened to me a few months ago on stage. But this is a great honor and a privilege to get this award from the City of West Hollywood. Just working here and providing service for this community, it's amazing. It's taught me a lot working here, and it really opened my eyes to just the diversity that you guys have. You know, come from the military, you get exposed to different cultures and communities, and coming here and just providing service, it's amazing, especially working for the city. Christian Cook, you seriously support us and ask us what we need to provide better service and safety to a changing environment and threats that we face every day. That's something new that we have to accept. So it's amazing to have that support, and I want to thank all you guys that came out here and take time out of your day to support us, and then our Chief Kane, and you have Captain Cook, Captain Bowling, Captain Ortiz, who every day set the standard, set the bar high for us. So I'm sure you see us out there training, maybe blocking traffic, but we have to do this every day to get familiar and become proficient and effective at our jobs. And the rest of my crew, if we're coming every day, if we're working multiple days, exhausted, just coming in positive and motivating, and keeps me motivated. More importantly, thanking my wife, who's supported me from the beginning, which is just pulling double duty at home, especially, I was active duty on deployments, missed a lot, and missed a lot of things that I didn't get to witness with my kids, but providing service is something I have a passion for, and she continues to support me and takes care of everything, running the home. So when I come home, I just ask, what can I do? So thank you very much.
Congratulations, firefighter paramedic Benny Ramirez, and I'd like to introduce Councilmember Lauren Meister to join me to present our final award.
Thank you, Commissioner Norton. Thank you all for being here. I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for this event because Public Safety was the first commission that I was ever appointed to, and I know how committed commissioners are and our public safety staff and all of you out there who are there keeping us safe. I'm very excited to present this award. This is our final award for outstanding contribution to public safety, and we are here to honor resident Michael Carter.
According to resident Jenny Kreindler, Michael Carter is the sole reason that we have a fruitful neighborhood watch group, which Stephanie Harker already told us about, called the Ogden Owls. He mobilized community and neighborhood support to grow a group of over 100 advocates for improving public safety. As a result of Mike's commitment and effort towards Neighborhood Watch, Ogden is a safer street.
So please help me welcome Jenny Kreindler, accepting on behalf of Michael Carter. He's out of town this evening. Jenny, are you here? Jenny, there you are. Accepting the award for outstanding contribution to public safety. And if my colleagues will join us for a photo.
Mike wish he could have been here. I know. He's here in spirit.
Yes.
Thank you, Lauren. Mike thanks you.
representing Mike. Absolutely, thank you. Okay, here we are.
Eat your heart out, Mike.
Yes, so I'm clearly not Michael Carter, but I'm a product of Michael Carter's amazing contributions to our neighborhood. He has really resurrected our whole neighborhood watch in our community and has allowed opportunities for neighbors to get to know each other and to talk to you all, our community change agents. And he works effortlessly day in, day out for us, finding ways for us to better increase the safety of our neighborhood. And I am here accepting this on his behalf today, and so thank you so much for this on his behalf. Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate all of the winners for the 2019 Public Safety Awards. And now I'd like to take a moment to recognize all of the hard work from the many people and the many volunteers in West Hollywood in public safety. First of all, we have the sheriff's volunteers, and they work hard, they spend countless hours, and they do things such as the patrols. You've seen them out at the parades, you've seen them at events. I see them posting on different social media things. They do assistance to the front desk, they give assistance to the detective bureau, and they even do some of the gardening. So in addition to that, there's a lot of people who are taking the CERT Community Emergency Response Team training course, and they give up their Saturdays to prepare and for emergencies. And this is a tremendous service that they do for their neighbors and the city. So join me in giving a big applause to all of the volunteers in West Hollywood.
So congratulations to all the recipients. Now the commission is going to move back up to the dais, and we'll be back with item 9 of the agenda in just a second. Thank you. All right. Okay, thank you, everyone. Now we're going to move on to item 9, which is selection of the Pedestrian Safety Transportation Subcommittee member. As you all know, we had our last, Robert Oliver was our second member of this subcommittee, and since he's no longer here, we need to find a replacement. Is there anyone who is interested in being on this?
I'll do it if nobody wants to.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Williams? Commissioner
Or do you?
Berger? Commissioner Williams is volunteering to do that, so that's, so then do we just need to, since there's, we'll just put Commissioner Williams on that subcommittee?
Yes, if you would like to make a motion, you can do that, or you can carry it by consensus.
Okay, I'll make a motion to add Commissioner Williams to the subcommittee, which I am also a member of, so. Okay, I'm gonna have a, do we need a roll call vote for that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So with that, Kristen, if we could, now that we have a new member, if we could plan something for that subcommittee at some point in the next month or two, or several months, because I know we're busy. I just noticed too, Kristen, that we're missing staff comments or reports on our agenda. Do you just
Nothing from staff tonight.
Okay, that's why it's not on there then. Okay, so we'll move on to public comments, and we do have one public comment. Wes Siegmiller.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Wes Siegmiller. I'm the Political Action Director for Sex Workers Outreach Project, as well as part of Me Too Survivors March International. So I don't really have any planned comments, but I just wanted to first say to the recipients of the awards today, thank you for your service, especially for their families. There's so much for their families to be proud of, putting their lives on the line every day. I may have started my activism career in the police accountability movement, but I've since, in my development, I've learned how rare it is to have departments like West Hollywood Sheriff Department that really is an exemplary department in terms of the possibilities for genuine community collaboration and innovative programs, because we are a creative city, and West Hollywood is really leading the charge for creative policing solutions. But that being said, I understand that this is an annual event. And I just feel like as a resident and someone who really cares about public safety, it's quite disturbing to see the police force upheld and awarded when our city is literally in crisis. We still have a serial killer on the loose. Dave Smith was a corrupt lieutenant here in West Hollywood. Those types of things don't happen in isolation. There is a lot of concern in the West Hollywood Sheriff Department, and I feel like we have a long way to go to address these serious concerns about the department before we're handing out awards. So I just would encourage the Public Safety Commission to try to do better. Honestly, awards like this, whatever your feelings are about them, the net impact is it degrades your credibility with the residents like me that don't have good experiences with police, and I'm not unique. That's something that's very common in our community. So I just would like to leave that with you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Kristen, there's no other public comment, correct? So now we're going to move on to items from the commission and commissioners' comments. However, Kristen, if you could at some point, I know you said there's nothing from staff, but if you could talk about, it's Pride, since we will not be having a meeting before then, if there's anything about the Pride event, festival, or parade that you want to share with us.
Sure. So this year, there is an expanded footprint, so to speak, on Santa Monica Boulevard. On Saturday and Sunday, there will be booths on Santa Monica Boulevard for attendees to enjoy, in addition to the paid festival, which is in its same configuration as last year. Sheriff and Fire are working diligently to get resources in place. We will continue the medical care center, the medical tent, which has been a big success for us over the years, to avoid transportation of patients to hospitals when not necessary. And we do, caution folks to have a good time and enjoy themselves, but also to be safe, stick with a buddy, make sure that if you have any needs whatsoever while you're out there, to grab a sheriff's deputy on the corner or a block-by-block security ambassador to help you while you're out.
Thank you. So now we'll move on to any other commissioner comments. Commissioner Norton.
I just want to take the opportunity to... Thank you. I just wanted to take the opportunity to congratulate the award recipients this evening, and to thank all of the people in the community who watch out for their public safety, their neighbors' public safety, and volunteer to help in any way they can. And thank you very much.
I agree with what Commissioner Norton just said, and I'd like that if Kristen would be kind enough to pass on our sincerest and deepest condolences to Bonnie on the loss of her mom, and if there's anything at all that we could do, please don't hesitate to let us know.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who helps out in public safety on any level in the city to make our city so great and safe. And I also want to congratulate all of the award winners tonight.
Commissioner Sol?
I wanted to put this out there so that you can keep it in your mind as we're going forward and we're leaving here after the celebration. You know, we pride ourselves in West Hollywood being a creative city and being the first and, you know, championing those that don't have a voice. And I want to make sure that we as a city always remember that, whether it's a constituent, whether it's an activist, whether it's a law enforcement person, or whether it's an employee of the city of West Hollywood. Make sure that we're always doing the right thing and bringing the truth to light.
Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate all of the winners this evening. And with that...
Motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Second.
Motion to adjourn. Okay, so we will adjourn until our next meeting on Monday, June 10th at Plummer Park, rooms 5 and 6. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.